So I like to run ads for my low content books on Amazon KDP. I usually run sponsored ads, but I've discovered another type of ad that you can run for your books, and I've tried it, and it's actually a really good way of selling more of your books. So I want to tell you all about it in this video. So take a look. Hello Home Bosses, my name is Nuria Corby from thehomeboss.com. Welcome to my channel, which is all about helping you to make money online. And one of the things we talk about a lot on this channel is how to publish low content books on Amazon KDP. And low content books are things like planners, journals, notebooks, that kind of thing. And if you're interested in that, I have a playlist, I'll leave the link below, that shows you how to upload your first lined notebook to Amazon KDP, and it's actually not as difficult as it sounds. So today I want to talk to you about running ads, and there is a type of ad that I've recently discovered, and that is the sponsored brand ad. And normally I just run normal sponsored ads and target them to keywords or manual targeting or automatic targeting. With sponsored brand ads, you can only target either keywords or products. There is no automatic targeting, and you need to have 3 books under the same pen name. That constitutes a brand for Amazon. They actually recommend that you add about 5 books or even more, but as long as you have 3 books under the same pen name, that is enough to run your sponsored brand ad. And I ran some brand ads for one of my pen names, and I've had really good results already. So it's actually quite a good way of giving your sales a little boost. And we're now in Q4, so it's actually a really good idea to start thinking about ads and running them. So in this video, I want to show you how you can run a sponsored brand ad. And I really like that Amazon actually provide you with a landing page for your brand. It looks really professional. It's like having a home page almost, and it just really looks good and showcases your books. So when somebody lands on your advert and they click on it, they get taken to a page that showcases all of your books. So that to me is a big improvement on the other type of ads. And also I think it's good for books that already had a few sales, or even books that have got a few reviews. So it's especially good for that kind of book. So I'll hop onto the screen share now and I'll show you how to run one of those ads. So the easiest way to run these ads is to go onto your marketing tab in your KDP account, or you can go directly on your bookshelf and then click on the book that you want to advertise and access the advertising page from there. But we're going to do it this way just to show you how to do it quickly. And then we pick our marketplace. So let's pick Amazon.com and we click on create a campaign. So now you're presented with 3 campaign types. One is the sponsored products, which is what we usually use, and sponsored brands and lock screen ads. Now lock screen ads are for ebooks, but usually we use sponsored product ads, and I've usually ignored sponsored brands, but when I looked into it, I'm thinking this could be a really good way to advertise your books, and I've actually had good results with this. So let's click on explore sponsored brands to find out a little bit more, and you get a little video here explaining it, so have a look through this. But I just want to quickly show you how you would place a sponsored brands ad. So we click on continue. So now we can create our campaign, and we give our campaign a name. So you can call this whatever you want to call it, so that you can find your campaign on your dashboard. I don't have any portfolio, so I leave that as it is. The start date is the date that you create your ad, and I usually leave the end date as it is, no end date, and I let the ad run because you can always pause it if you have to. The budget, I like to start with a $3 daily budget. You can go as high and as low as you like, but I recommend that you start low, maybe even lower than $3, and then you can increase it when you're monitoring your ad. I have found that $3 for me is kind of the optimum amount of money. When I go less, it doesn't have the same impact. So I start with 3 and then I increase it when I have to. So then it says landing page. The landing page is where shoppers are directed after they interact with your ad. And this is what I found so interesting, because when you run an ad, normally your book shows up as a sponsored product and it's just your book. But with this campaign, with this sponsored brand campaign, they will actually show all your books in that or under that pen name. So it's almost like a web page, or like a landing page in terms of like a home page. It shows all of your products, and I think that works really well for this kind of ad. So now we have to choose the author, and you choose one of your author names, whichever one you want to advertise, and then you pick the books that you have under that author name. You have to add a minimum of 3 products, and they recommend that you add at least 5 products. I would take their advice and maybe add 5 if you have 5 books under that pen name. So I think it's also a good idea to group books together that have something in common. So for example, if they're all journals, you could group them together, or if they're all notebooks, or maybe you are making logbooks of a certain type. So group them together in a way that it makes sense, so that when your page is shown to potential buyers, you want the books to have some kind of relevance to each other. So, you know, imagine as a buyer what you would like to see. If you're searching for coloring books, you wouldn't want to see a coloring book together with a logbook and a journal. You want them all to be coloring books, for example. So choose your books in that sense, and then you just click submit for review. They will show you a page with all of your books. They will show you the landing page that they create for you. And I've got to say, it looks really good. So I'm really happy with how they create these landing pages. You can also change things like your author profile picture, so you can really personalize this to create a really good landing page for yourself. And then you've got the targeting, the keyword targeting, or the product targeting. I like to use the keyword targeting because I know the kind of keywords that people are going to type in to search for my products. So then you get your suggested keywords. You can either use them or you can type in your own keywords. I'm going to use the suggested keywords in this case because they are quite good. There's also a suggested bid here that you can enter, and I find that Amazon's suggested bid is way too high for what I want to spend, so I usually change that and make it a lot lower. Like I said, I mean, start low and then you can always increase it later on. Then once you've done all that, you submit for review, and Amazon will send you an email when your ad is ready and running. So as you can see, it's very simple to run a sponsored brands ad. So I hope you found that useful. I hope you saw how easy it is to run a sponsored brand ad. It's not too difficult. As long as you remember you need 3 books under the same pen name, then you can run one of those ads. And if you're unsure about running ads, I've got some videos that can help you a little bit. I'm not an expert on ads, but at least I can show you how I run my ads, and it might help you running yours. And ads are a really good opportunity to give your sales a little boost. It's not cheap to run ads, but if you're running this as a business, you really need to run ads. Any business runs ads for their products. So I leave some videos here and here for you to watch and see how you would run automatic or manual ads. And thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you again in my next video. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.